watching the recent episode, we're finding now that Simone's having a conflict of reality versus perceived reality with things like bleeding statues that no one else sees. Is this kind of the start of where we're going to see her character being brought into that realm, into that world? Because obviously it's not something everyone is going to be perceiving before.
All I'll say is yes.
Now there's a soundbite. Right.
So one of the things I think is very interesting is both of your characters at this point are fully in the human realm. Damien, of course, is half human, half devil. And everyone that's currently surrounding him, he knows that Anna is not necessarily to be trusted, but the other people that he's been searching out for help, he thinks are friends, but now we know are enemies, at least by episode 3. Or not necessarily enemies, but people he cannot trust. And your two characters are people that are good people who he can trust. Can you talk a little bit about your influence on him and your relationship and how that's going to kind of be push and pull with these darker forces in his life?
Yes.
without giving too much away, like, you're kind of like on the good side of that, yeah.
Yes, I think, I don't know, how do I say this without really giving anything away?
Just give it all away. Okay.
You can trust us.
Yeah. Wait, the question is, how does Simone, what influences she have on him going forward?
Going forward, at least by like episode 4 or 5.
Between, or like, are you asking me, does she go kind of deeper into that realm? Yeah, I mean, it is a show about the Antichrist, so I think to a degree it's safe to say we are all going to be brought into his world. And Damien and Simone, I think, not deliberately, but they do get closer. They end up getting closer, for better or for worse.
Wow. dot, after everything you say. As for my character, I think he stays pretty consistent. He knows Damien is going through a lot, having lost someone who was really close to him, Kelly, her sister. And then when he gets into this whole 666 Antichrist business, and I feel like my character's there to kind of ground him. Like if you told me you're the Antichrist, I'd be like, come on, let's be real for a second. Does this stuff really exist? And so it's just someone who wants to bring down his level of paranoia and just be, he's just a good friend, throughout for him, or he tries to be. There's not to say that there comes a point where he has to question everybody in his life. So yeah, I try to be the anchor to his life.
Is that hard to maintain though as things get crazier? Because as things intensify and Damien gets a little more, I don't know if bewildered's the right word, or overcome with, you know what I mean?
For my character, it takes a lot for him to finally see the big, to open his eyes to what's going on. But surprisingly, a lot of stuff will happen. I'll be like, there's a reason for everything. We can explain everything. I promise you this. But there does come a point, which I can't go into, that he's like, I don't know how to explain this. Shit's crazy and weird. So.
Is that just who he is as a person, or is that related to because he's a journalist?
I think it is who he is. These guys. Journalists, photojournalists. They've been through a lot. They've seen hell on Earth, and I think it takes a lot for him. At least my character. You've seen the worst of humanity, and it just takes a lot for him to open his eyes to, and that indeed life there is more than meets the eye. There is a much greater force around us.
He doesn't need to believe in the supernatural to believe in evil.
Exactly, yeah. You see it all around us. All of us.
Is there at some point where either of your characters do fear for your life in association with Damien?
I, as an actor, fear for my life. You can go ahead and answer that one.
Do we fear for our life? Yes. All I'll say.
Oh,
I mean, it definitely gets very intense. The next, the second half of the season gets turned up all the way to 10.
yeah.
This was originally a six episode story for Lifetime, and then it moved to A&E.
Mm-hmm.
How did both of your characters begin to flesh out more once it expanded to 10 episodes?
I never got to read I just read the pilot, and I think it was like after 2 days of shooting, they're like, "Oh, we're changing this to 10 episodes, and
Yeah,
we're changing
that
network." So we don't know
happened really quickly.
Glenn is
So we didn't really, because we don't know what our characters are going to do from episode to, so we're learning, as we read them. So we're done with one episode, and as we're reading the next one, that's when we find out what's happening.
But a lot changed, though. We know that. We knew the original arc,
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes, a lot did change.
Without getting too specific. But because there was changes, but I think there were changes for the better, right?
Oh yeah. I think it just it
I think
got
when they gave us
a lot better.
4 more episodes, they gave us more room to breathe and to get into these characters more.
Yeah.
You get to know our characters a lot more.
Yeah, because there's only so much you can do in 6 episodes, especially on a new show that has all this very rich history, So.
Giving away an ending, does it look like if it does well, would there be potentially another limited series? I mean, how many?
I want to see. I've never been part of a show where I wanted to see the second season so much, because I feel like where we end this season is where a lot of people assume where we're going to start it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just being a fan and just as a viewer, I want to know where this story goes.
Yeah. I mean, the finale of this show is like, wow. Okay. Now I need a whole nother.
There's so much more story to tell.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's almost like this season's like a prequel almost.
I hope we didn't give anything away.
Did we?
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
No. I know they're like, no, you didn't.
The beans.
Gave us nothing.
Your characters replaced.
Let me know how second season is.
Yeah. Now, did you guys get to do any of your own stunts? Did you do any stunts?
I did one stunt. I had a fight sequence, but I had years of training for it. So. I did martial arts my whole life.
I did a lot of running. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Kind of feels that is almost a stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's
I had like a knee problem afterwards. That's how much running I did in heels.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Like traction. Just kidding.
No.
How much?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is there any kind of lasting impact to the fact that Damien's responsible for the death of your sister, whether even indirectly?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that that's something that's? Do we? I don't want to ask you what's going to happen, but is that something that we see in your character a lot?
I think throughout it.
Yeah, I think that carries for Simone. It carries through the whole season, and in my search for answers, which is basically what I do. I think, I definitely bind them in a way. I get answers.
You get answers, all right.
Get answers, whatever they may be.
Yeah.
You had, of course, seen through to the end of this particular series. You could play different characters in this series. Who would you pick and why?
Anne Rutledge.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I played Damien.
Yeah, just kind of do like a swap and do the reverse face thing on them.
Right.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good, yeah.
Is there a particular reason you would choose them? Just the dynamics of the character?
It is the dynamics of the characters, because I think we all have good and evil in us. I wouldn't say evil, but good parts of us and bad parts of us, and just that struggle is, for me as an actor, is interesting to have in any kind of character, whether you're the Antichrist or not. So it just happens to be the consequences or go beyond yourself, or the consequences of the world. It just seems like a great struggle to play as an actor.
Yeah.
But Bradley does a great job. I mean, I'm trying to get his job.
But I'd be better. I think Anne, she's really naughty, and it's always more fun to be naughty.
Yes. Very, very naughty.
I don't know if you would know this, but how intentional was the decision to start in Syria, considering what's been going on there? You're doing a show about evil, and there just don't seem to be good guys.
It's very intentional.
I mean, that's a better question for Glenn, because I think they were bouncing around a couple ideas, and for whatever reason they ended up, because it's always been in Syria ever since I come on the project.
Really?
I think so. I mean, I think he told me, he's like,
It was Iran.
Iran? No, nothing Iran. There's nothing Christian in Iran.
They gave me a fake script.
Yeah.
It was somewhere else.
There was a couple other countries that were, so I don't know. But I mean, he's been working on it for 3 years, so I'm sure. But by the time when we read it, there was definitely stuff already going on in Syria. You know?
Yeah.